He could be my baby driver.
He can be my Divergent. Wasn't he in that? Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, I saw that.
He can insert me.
Oh no! No!
Oh, that was a movie.
Oh shit!
No! Oh, what is the other one? Oh, the one that he canceled. He can ascend me. Ascended.
Oh,
he can ascend into my life. Anyway, welcome everybody to the 10th episode of the Monday Show. Man, I feel every week we keep saying a new number, and it's just insane, Raul. We keep getting up there. We have another guest. Welcoming on our Coco review, Nolan Dean. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing fantastic. It's really great to be here, but I am not digging the new Skype layout. What are they doing?
I know, I hate it. And sorry again, everyone, for the technical difficulties today. We tried to go live, and then we tried to do other stuff. Luck is against us, but that's okay. We're here now. Raul, thank you. How are you doing? It's been a little bit.
Yeah, has been a week, but this last week felt eternal.
It did.
Felt really long.
It was a dread. But with that being said, before we get into the first segment, why don't we let's get into a little bit about Nolan. I've noticed on Twitter and stuff lately that you've been posting about writing and whatnot. Let's get into the inspirations behind that. What are some movies that you watched as a kid, or some of your favorites that kind of have inspired you into wanting to write and do stuff with characters and developing stories?
Well, There's a lot of movies I watched as a kid. Jaws, which terrified me. Thomas and the Magic Railroad being the first movie I saw in theaters. But the one that got me into writing was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. And I'm going to say Philosopher's Stone because that's the name of the bloody book. It's not the Sorcerer's Stone. But when I saw that when I was 6 years old, and it's just, I knew right then I wanted to tell stories. And it's just seeing how well Warner Brothers adapted that book series, it gives me hope for film adaptations. That's why I think it did so well, because they're respecting the material.
Yeah.
And just J.K. Rowling's ability to world build and create these incredible characters, it's something that I wanted to do when I was older, because I want to give kids of this generation the same feeling that I had when I was their age.
Man, that's awesome. I think that's very similar to why I want to do directing and why I wrote and directed my first film. It's that feeling that we got when we saw these characters and these stories come to life, and just seeing how that affects people, giving that feeling to the younger and next generation. I think that's just super special, and there's something that feels, well, obviously there's something that feels good about it, and it's awesome. So is there any projects that you've been necessarily working on or writing?
As a lot of people know on Twitter, because I think I tweet about it at least 10 times a day. I'm working on a story called Moonflower, and I have the synopsis here if you want me to read that in a little epic voice.
Yeah, do it.
Yes.
11-year-old bookworm Millie Robertson only read about the great adventures from beyond her bedroom window. She never thought for a second she would be living in one. On a fateful summer night, she follows a bright light in the garden that whisks her away to the strange land of Vacadio Valley, where she meets an elven princess, Jade, and a handsome inventor, Zigzag. They tell her of a great evil soon predicted to destroy their kingdom, and a prophecy that hints to Millie being the savior. Rather than rise up to this terrifying challenge herself, Millie asks for her favorite fictional hero, Moonflower Jones, to be brought to life to save them. However, Millie will soon learn that there is more to Moonflower than what resides within the pages of her story, and it's about to be unleashed.
Wow. Dude, that sounds awesome. So, where did you kind of come up with this idea? Were you sitting in a coffee shop and you were like, "Holy shit, I wanna write something like this," or where did this idea come from?
Did you write it off a napkin?
I did not write it off a napkin, and weirdly enough, I was not at a coffee shop when I was coming up with it. As it goes with most writers, this is going to happen if you want to get into writing. The first story that you write will probably not be the first story that you publish. You just got to keep practicing and just keep working at it, and I've been doing that for years now. And the first story I wrote, I'm No Superman, which I think I remember telling Raul about it when we first met.
Oh, yeah.
And, the characters in I'm No Superman, because I was in a very bad time then, I just broken up with my girlfriend, I was sort of writing cynical characters without realizing it, because as an author, you can't help but project yourself onto your own characters.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was thinking one day, what if you had a villain who was like that? Someone who's seen as a hero by a little kid, but when they actually meet them, they turn out to be really cynical, arrogant, could actually turn evil. And Millie Robertson, it's a protagonist I never thought I would write, because I never thought I'd be writing in the fantasy genre at all, because I thought I wouldn't be good at it. But my little cousin, Millie, she's kind of like me when I was her age. She's 7 years old. She's really nerdy. She loves Spider-Man and Star Wars and all these really great things. So I based this character off her, and it's funny, when I was telling her about this last week, she's like, "Oh, I'm writing a book. I based the main character off you." She's just looking at me with these little innocent eyes, like, "Please don't make me fight a bad guy."
Oh, that's amazing.
And I kind of feel like I have to do this story for her.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. Now, are you writing it as a book? Then 100%. So are you?
Yeah, it's book.
Okay, well, I'm going on air now saying that I called getting the film rights to direct it one day. I haven't read it. I haven't. I don't know the twist. It's not finished yet, but man, that sounds fucking awesome.
I want the film rights. I don't remember the name of that story, Nolan, that you sent me. Like, it was like a year ago. That kid that was like a pyromaniac, that he killed a lot of people in the first chapter.
Oh, the Playground Devils, man! I've not looked at that story in a long time, Raul.
I like that story. I was like, remember when I read it, I was like, I'm already imagining a lot of scenes.
Wow.
You know that I like those twisted dark stories.
Yeah.
So that's mine.
But yeah,
that will be mine.
I that's awesome, dude. So have you been how long have you been working on this? Sorry, has it been?
For Moonflower, I've been working on it since March of this year. Like, I had the idea of the character all fleshed out. I had a couple of lines that I knew I wanted her to say. One in particular, there's this whole thing I gave Moonflower where it's like, she's got a very generic sounding hero name. She has a basic backstory, like, oh, her parents died and she went on to become a warrior. But there's this thing what happens where near the end of Moonflower, the little kid's saying, like, don't do this, your parents died in an accident. And Moonflower's response, it just came to me because I thought it sounded really scary. She just looks at the kid and just says, "That's the funny thing about stories, there are no accidents."
Oh. Wow. That's really cool dialogue.
That's a good one.
That's really good. Awesome. So,
no, talking about Nolan, we met, I think, how I remember it, at first we met like through comments to the Facebook group, but the first time that we officially met, we did a Google Hangouts, like before Top, and also it was our 2-year anniversary when we did this. We did like a movie fight on Google Hangouts. It was 3 other guys, right, Nolan?
It was me, you, Avi Sachs, Vincent Thomas, and Tyler Millard, I believe.
Yes.
Wow.
And you had a half a point. I had a point and a half, I think.
Yeah, and for those who know, I've never actually.
Yeah, and that's how.
Well, and Nolan and
that's
I actually
how
just met today.
Nolan and I met.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's awesome. Why don't we just jump right into the first segment? Let's talk about some movies. That's why we're here. Nolan and I actually didn't get to see Coco. Because my theater, actually, and I'll go into the story, but Nolan, it hasn't opened up in your hometown, right?
No, it doesn't open until January in the UK.
Oh, I'm excited for you to see it, though, and I was really excited to look. Like, I had my ticket, it was all good to go, but then, yeah, the theater, it was one of those ones where the theater breaks down, and they give you free tickets, and so I'm gonna go see it later this week, because I'm really excited, but, Raul, you saw it twice, you saw it for me, and you saw it for yourself. Why don't you review it?
Yeah.
What did you think of it?
No spoilers, please.
Yeah, no spoilers, please.
Yeah, you forgot the name of the segment. But there's no
Oh.
place like the cinema.
There's no place like the cinema. That's why you're here. You're my Robin.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. And so yeah. Robin, maybe I'm the Superman to your Batman.
Yeah, but I don't want to fight you. And I don't want to give you a fake mustache.
Hey, it have Henry Cavill's ads. I don't care about the mustache.
Okay.
Tell me, Raul, do you bleed?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah, going back to Coco. Yeah, I really, really, really like the movie. Like the first time I watched it, I liked it. It's still like the thing that I like the most is the animation. The animation is flawless. Like it's an upgrade to Inside Out. The thing that you remember that Inside Out, how you see the light between the emotions so clearly, like the yellow in joy and the blue in sadness. I like there's a detail in Coco. It's one of the first scenes when Miguel is singing to Ernesto de la Cruz. He's singing his poster, and there's like a close up to his face, and that's the thing that a lot of Mexicans we have because of the sun, and sometimes a lot of Mexicans we have delicate skin. We develop like some white things on the skin because we're a lot of brown people we do this. And so you can see that part of his neck that he has that white thing. It's like I don't know how to say the word, but it happens sometimes with the exposure of the sun. And so to see that detail, and I was like, wow. I really like the detail, and also it's not only the shade of Miguel's skin. There's all kinds of shades of Mexican skins. There's the light brown like mine. There's brown like him. There's like a dark brown like his father. That's the thing that I like is any kind of shade of Mexican, and also there's also white Mexicans in Mexico, where not all of us are brown, and so that's the thing that I like also. That's the thing that I like also from the movie. It has all of the different shades of skin in Mexico. Also, like the difference, the culture thing. Like there's one of the first things that I really like is when he's shining the shoes to a mariachi, and then the mariachi says, "I didn't tell you to tell me your life story, kid. Like I wanted you for only to shine my shoe." And then he says, "But I can. If you really want to be a singer, I will be your first audience. Take the guitar." And he's almost like Miguel is like almost touching the guitar, and you can see the grandmother like, "No music." And then she grabs her chancla so quick, and then starts to hit the mariachi. And the mariachi, "Oh no, señora, no!" And then like he runs away, and then how she puts the chancla back away so quickly on her foot. I was like, yeah. That's a Mexican grandmother right there. Even though I didn't have a grandmother, but the grandmothers from my friends, they were like that. So I knew. The other thing that I really like from the movie is the references. Like Ernesto de la Cruz, he's based on one of the biggest Mexican actors and singers, Pedro Infante, from the 40s and the 50s. And so I really like how it resembles a lot of Pedro Infante.
Wow.
The other thing that I like is also there's a cameo from Frida Kahlo. There's also a cameo from one of the biggest comedians, also from the 40s and 50s, Cantinflas. There's also from Maria Felix. There's also a cameo from El Santo. He's a wrestler, and also from I think it's Pablo Negrete. He's also another great singer from the 40s. That's the thing that I like from the movie. Seeing all of those big stars in like cameos, but especially with Ernesto de la Cruz, that he's based on Pedro Infante, because especially the way, it's not a spoiler, but the way that how Ernesto de la Cruz died so suddenly is the way that Pedro Infante died, because Pedro Infante in real life, he was like he died in a plane crash. And it was so random. he lived his life on the fullest.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, I don't remember he was piloting the I don't remember he was piloting the plane or not, but he died in the crash. That's it. And then he was so sad, and so I was like, the way that Ernesto de la Cruz dies by a bell, like so randomly, I was like, it's exactly like Pedro Infante died. He died so random, and so
it really sounds.
The other thing that I like.
Well, it really sounds like they took lots of care, right? It's like they really planned it out, and they prepared, and they took lots of care with the source material and gave. Like, that's really cool that they added all that kind of Easter egg type of stuff in.
Yeah, and so the other thing that I like is the world of the dead. How Miguel access to it. I'm not gonna say how, but then how he enters to the land of the dead, see the bright colors. The other thing that I like from the land of the dead, it felt like old Mexico. This is a Mexico that I never saw because I'm 28 years old. I didn't saw that old Mexico. But when I was younger, I always go to the history museum, and they always show us a lot of things from the old Mexico from the 1920s, like the old trains, the old train stations, the old TVs, the way that how the streets were managed. And so in the land of the dead, that was the style of the town. It was like a 1920s Mexico. That's the other thing that I like also, like have you all of those things that you can notice as a reference, and also how it's based on real history. I like also the traditions that they put out, how we do the altar of the Day of the Dead, how we put out like the favorite foods for any kind of family members, and I like the music, I like the characters. Diego Luna's characters is one of the best ones, Hector. I like the twist. There's a twist. It was a little predictable. You can really notice it, but a lot of people didn't catch it. I still remember the first time, a lot of people were like, oh, and I was like, I knew it, but I was surprised that they did it. I was like, okay, I liked it. And the ending is very emotional. I cried the first time. I cried more the second time because now that I've seen the movie again. My only little nitpick from the movie, there's a lot of jokes that they put out half in English, half in Spanish. And I'm like, if I was a writer in that movie, I was like, why don't you try, especially with the songs, do it completely in Spanish and put out subtitles in English? Mm-hmm. But still, mixing both English and Spanish in a mariachi songs, and especially in the different kind of songs that they did, is still an achievement. Especially the second time, I admire the songs even more, because the first time I was like really criticizing them, but the second time I was like, okay, they're okay, but still, I'm gonna see it during this week. I'm gonna see it in Spanish because I'm curious, because my mother finally saw the movie recently, and they told me that a lot of Mexican actors participate in the dubbing. So I was like, oh, I'm even one of the greatest like TV show hosts from a kid show called Chabelo, and he's also doing a voice of like even Chabelo doing a voice for a Disney movie. I was like, I need to see it in Spanish.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. What would you rate it?
Yeah. I cannot say any more things about the movie because you didn't saw it, and also you know them. So I would still give it a 9.5 out of 10.
Wow, I'm really excited for it.
With both times that I have seen it, like it's gonna be on my top 10. Wow. Yeah, definitely.
I'm really excited to see it now.
Me too.
Yeah, especially like recently, like Wonder and Coco, those both movies, I was like, I want to see Wonder again, and I really like Wonder. And I know that Wonder is gonna be it's gonna be on my top 10 also.
And then, I mean, you also saw Call Me by Your Name this week as well, right, Raul?
Yeah, I saw Call Me by Your Name yesterday. I know that Nolan is very jealous.
I
Hey,
want
we're
to
all
see
jealous.
Army Hammer's abs, damn it.
Man.
Oh yeah, I saw Army Hammer's abs in the 70mm screen from the
Oh.
dome in the art light.
I'd let him cuddle with him.
And yeah, Call Me by Your Name. Call Me by Your Name is beautiful. The way that they show you those parts of Italy. I like the cinematography. I like the setup. I like it's in the 80s. Also, I like a lot of the Italian pop songs that they put out throughout the whole movie. The thing that really bothered me from the movie, really slow, but it's entertaining slow. Like the movie's 2 hours 20 minutes long, and it felt like 4 hours.
Oh.
You know what's the great thing about these two movies that you like, Raul, with Wonder and Call Me by Your Name?
What?
They're both also great books that you should read.
Damn it.
You gotta do it.
I don't read.
Wait a minute. So I don't watch television shows. Raul, we figured it out. You don't read books. That's the thing. We have to get you to do book reviews now.
Damn it. I thought that you were never gonna notice. So now Nolan is banned from the show because he said my flaw that I don't read.
Oh no. Nolan was
Reading is great.
Nolan was your kryptonite. We found it. So yeah, so you said it's Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, Raul, have you never read Harry Potter?
Yes, I read all of the 7 books.
Okay, you're fine. You're fine.
Hey, should
Nolan, you know this about me. You know that I'm very critical of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince movie. That's the movie that I hate the most.
I don't know if I should admit or
compared
not
to the book.
because I haven't read the Harry Potter books.
They are beautiful.
I've only watched the movies.
Like Troy, I saw Harry Potter, The Philosopher's Stone in 2001, and I didn't want to see the movie. My mom dragged me to see it, and I remember when I got off on the theater, I said, I need to read the sequel. That's the movie that made me read when I was a teen.
Wow. Yeah.
Because I wanted to know what was next.
Literally
I love that you call it Philosopher's Stone.
Oh, in Spanish is Harry Potter y la Piedra Filosofal in the Philosopher's Stone. It's not the
I want to call it
Stone.
that. Can you teach me how to say it like that?
That's a stupid American thing.
Yeah, I've only
Harry
ever.
Potter y la Piedra Filosofal.
Oh, I love that. That sounds way better than stupid our English. No, I've only seen the movies. I love the movies though. For my my 16th birthday, I went to Florida and I spent it in the Harry Potter land because I've loved Harry Potter so much. So I get the love for it. But let's kind of rapid Call Me by Your Name up. What would you rate, I guess, the movie? Raul.
I will give it an 8 out of 10 only because of the slow pacing.
Okay, cool.
The movie was fine. Armie Hammer was great. Like, I like the acting of the kid even better than Armie Hammer. The movie, you can notice that it's going to win awards, but I don't see it as a Best Picture winner. I see it as a Best Picture nominee.
I think Best Adapted Screenplay it might have a shot at.
And I didn't know it was based on a book. I thought it was like an original movie.
Great book.
Oh, after you see it, Nolan, we need to discuss that ending. I don't know if it's different from the book or not. I was like, I didn't like. That's the other thing. I cannot say it, but that ending, I was like, is that the way that it ends? I cannot say more because you haven't seen it. So
once I see it, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, the only other movies that I had written down here were just movies I had caught up on this week. So maybe I'll just mention them, kind of give you.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I saw Lady Bird. I saw Lady Bird yesterday.
Okay, go.
Raul.
I want to know, did you guys know that, what was it on, I read on Twitter that she's now past Toy Story 2 in most reviews for 100%. on Rotten Tomatoes.
Damn.
I'm trying to... Yeah, right here.
Lady Bird has?
Yeah, Eric Davis posted it on Twitter. I'm going to find it here.
That's awesome.
No,
Yeah, record broken with 164 Yeah, with 164 fresh reviews with 0 rotten, Lady Bird tops the list of 100% movies with the most amount of reviews. That's insane. That's amazing. So what was it like? I want to know.
oh my god, Lady Bird is so much fun. It's a really funny movie. I like Saoirse Ronan. Oh my god, she was sorry. Her, the Ronan girl, she was great. I really like her character as Christine Lady Bird. I liked also the friend. I forgot her name. She was great also. I also the kid from Manchester by the Sea. But the standout in Lady Bird is Sheldon's mom. Sheldon's mom, I forgot the name of the actress, but she's the mom of Lady Bird. Like, she stole the whole thing. The way that she acts, the way that her and Lady Bird crash throughout the whole movie.
Doesn't the kid from Call Me By Your Name show up? Isn't he a character in Lovebird? Or in Lady Bird?
That's the thing that I was going to ask you, if the kid from Call Me By Your Name is the same kid from Lady Bird.
Yeah, he totally is.
Chalamet, I think his name is.
Yeah.
And I saw Lady Bird last night and Call Me By Your Name as a double feature.
Oh, wow.
I saw it back to back. I was like, when I saw Call Me By Your Name, I was like, is that the kid from Lady Bird? I was like, It was totally random. I didn't even knew that kid were in the same movies, in both movies. Oh yeah, Lady Bird was great. I want to tell you more about the movie, but I can't because that's the other thing that I like from the movie.
I don't even know what it's about. I have no idea.
Oh, quick synopsis, like, Lady Bird, she's a girl that she doesn't want to live in Sacramento, California anymore. She wants to study far away, but her family is very low income. So she still wants to get away, but her mother wants her to stay in California. And at the same time, she's in a Catholic school. And that's the story.
Wow.
Like how she's in the Catholic school, at the same time she wants to live in another part of the country, and her mother always crashing and having discussions.
Awesome. That sounds like it's going to be very art type film, like very independent. I guess is the director a first time female director? I should look. Yeah,
I think so.
Greta Gerwig. She's 34. Oh, she's an actress. She plays. Let's see. She was. I'm trying to see a movie that I've seen. Do you guys see Frances Ha in 2012?
No, I know that movie.
She's the main actress in that movie. She was also in Arthur, No Strings Attached, The House of the Devil. So she's an actress, and this is her first time directing.
I'm really excited for this movie.
She did a great job.
Well, I guess I'm looking now. She had directed.
I will give Lady Bird.
Let's see. She did direct something in 2008, to be like a drama. So this is technically her second film, but that was like a long time ago.
Yeah, I will give Lady Bird a 9 out of 10. I would really. That's Lady Bird. That's a movie that I can see. That's a movie that I have a feeling that it's gonna win awards. I hope so.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but great.
The thing about Lady Bird, because it's an indie movie, I don't know if it's gonna get the campaigning.
Oh yeah. Well, it's backed by A24, and A24 has been doing stuff with disaster artists, so I mean they have money. But yeah.
Yeah.
And Nolan, are you looking forward to seeing Lady Bird? Has it opened in the UK yet?
Lady Bird does not open till February here.
As he says in
But
sadness.
I really want to see it.
Hey, it might actually... Nolan, don't tell anyone I told you this, but there might be screeners coming out for people that might get leaked online, so you might be able to see it early if you look in the right places on the internet.
I never really do that anyway, especially for indie movies. They kind of need support.
Hey, you could see it now and just pay for it 10 times when it comes out. Ow. Ugh. But no, anyway.
I'm not that right.
No, none of us
are.
are.
I'm not like Raul, where it's funny.
Yeah, we don't have Movie Pass.
Oh, Nolan, I have Movie Pass, so I don't have to do that.
And that's
I don't have the money.
And that's our weekly Movie Pass request. Please sponsor us. I really want to be sponsored by Movie Pass. That'd be awesome. We love you so much. Please. That's my.
Talking about Movie Pass, Troy, I have sinned.
What? What did you do?
I didn't use Movie Pass. I haven't used Movie Pass for over 10 days.
Oh no.
You must be going through withdrawal.
Yeah.
No, I haven't used Movie Pass because of one thing. Because last week T-Mobile gave $5 coupons to any movie. So I have 4 coupons because 3 of my plan and 1 from a friend. And so I have 4 coupons. I went to see Coco in University City Walk. $25 ticket, I only pay $5. I went to the Art Light, $20 ticket, I only pay $5 for Lady Bird and Call Me By Your Name. That was $10.
Wow.
And then I saw Coco on 4D, $20 ticket, and I only pay $5.
Yeah.
Coupons.
Yeah, that's my week coupons. You know that coupons and Movie Pass, that's the thing that turned me on.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, why don't we kind of segue into some of these movies that I caught up on. And what I'll do, is I'll say the title, tell you kind of what I thought, and then see if you guys have seen it and get your quick thoughts on it. The first movie I saw actually was on Netflix, and this is that documentary about the making of Man on the Moon. Jim and Andy, The Great Beyond, featuring a very special contractually obligated mention of Tony Clifton. It's a very long title. But this movie is fantastic. If you're a fan of Jim Carrey, if you're a fan of Andy Kaufman, if you're a fan of filmmaking, I think you'll love this movie. It's brilliant. It shows you really how in-depth an actor could go into a role. And it really goes into showing you how Jim Carrey pretty much he wasn't Jim Carrey anymore. He really did transform himself into Andy Kaufman to the point where, during the filming of Man on the Moon, Andy Kaufman had a daughter who came out and said, hey, I'm Andy Kaufman's daughter, but, Andy Kaufman had passed away. So because Jim Carrey was in character, the family pretty much accepted him as Andy Kaufman. So this girl meets her dad for the first time, but it's actually Jim Carrey in this role. And it's just there's stories like that which are so interesting to me where, an actor could go so in depth where, literally the family will accept that person as their dead relative. That's just insane to me. So yeah, have you guys heard of this, or do you know of it, or want to see it kind of thing?
I'd have to see Man on the Moon first, but so that sounds like something I'd like.
Are you familiar with Andy Kaufman?
I haven't seen that.
Are you familiar with Andy Kaufman and his work?
Oh, only vaguely. I'm not too sure about what his story entails.
Yeah, no, he was for some people that don't know, he was on the very first episode of SNL. He's very familiar. He was pretty much known for his character, the Foreign Man, which ended up going into pretty much being stolen into a show, Taxi, which he did for a bit. But yeah, Raul, do you know of Andy Kaufman? And
I'm into.
Sweet.
Yeah, I know about Andy Kaufman. When I was little, I saw a lot of his sketches, and also I saw the TV show Taxi. And then I saw years later Man on the Moon and the movie theater. And I really want to see that documentary. It sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I would. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I loved it so much. There was parts in it where I actually was like in tears, just like with some of the stuff that goes on in the movie. It was beautiful. It was very beautiful. So I saw that. The other movie I caught up on was Ingrid Goes West. Now, Raul, you told me to see this. And holy shit, this movie is fucked. It is so weird and so messed up. I love it.
Told you.
I love it. And like...
I told you it was a dark comedy.
It's
so
it was a weird dark. Nolan, have you seen Ingrid Goes West?
No, but it's actually playing in the theater tonight, so I might go see it after we're done here.
Oh my god, dude. It's so like for the people at home that don't know, Ingrid is about this girl named Ingrid who's played by Aubrey Plaza. And she becomes obsessed with this social network star named Taylor, who seemingly has this perfect life. Pretty much the story is her going and emulating this behavior, and it turns into this unsettling and dangerous situation where it's just the most random and dark story. With they're pretty much taking these characters that like are our generation, like our young millennial generation, and like showing the dark, twisted, like creepy situations that social media can put us in. I thought this movie was awesome.
Yeah.
Also, I gotta say,
sounds awesome.
Ice Cube's son is in this, O'Shea Jackson, and he's so good. He was so funny. The whole time he's trying to make this Batman movie, and it's the funniest thing, because he's like making Batman references and talking in this Batman voice, and it's clearly Ice Cube's son, and it's the funniest thing. Oh, I loved it. And also Elizabeth Olsen was great. Oh, and I also have to, what's his name? His son, Kurt Russell's son's in this as well. I forget his actual name. Oh, Wyatt Russell. He plays the boyfriend of Elizabeth Olsen, and he was also in 22 Jump Street. He's fantastic.
Oh, that's the son of Kurt Russell. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check this out tonight.
But yeah,
Nolan. Ingrid Goes West is
good.
one of my favorite movies of the year. I think we did like a top 10 like so far. I had like Ingrid Goes West like in number 6. I really like Ingrid Goes West because I always have told my mother, she still haven't seen it, but the thing that Ingrid Goes West establishes, without telling you any spoilers, is like, what is Ingrid? Is Ingrid crazy?
Yeah.
Is Ingrid sad? Or Ingrid, are you on her side or not? This is one of the questions that establishes when you're seeing the whole movie, and then at the end.
Yeah,
that's the thing that I like from Ingrid Goes West. It's a movie that you need to see, like, are you on her side or not?
Yeah.
Because until you see the movie, that's when you establish these questions, and then you have your answers.
Yeah, it's cool.
It sounds really good.
So yeah, I gave it 4 out of 5. I really want to watch it again because I loved it. But yeah, I thought it was great. The other movie I saw, this one I'm so excited to talk about. I had no idea what this movie was. I heard a lot of good things about it. A lot of the reviews I had seen from Collider and a couple months ago, they were all great. But I saw Good Time. Now this is the Robert Pattinson movie about the bank robber. Holy crap. This movie was like amazing. Are you familiar with this movie, Nolan?
Yeah, I've heard Robert Pattinson's great in it, which is good because I've always thought Robert Pattinson was a good actor.
I swear.
It's about time people saw that.
I hope he gets nominated for this, honestly. Like, he was so good. Raul, did you see Good Time?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw it like 3 months ago, I think. When I moved to LA, I saw it like...
Yeah, no, so, and for the people that don't know...
Oh, and Good Time, that was not a Movie Pass movie. I paid to see it.
Well, at least it was worth the money.
Yeah, but... Oh, yeah, but I didn't pay our, like, movie theater prices. I went to see it on the Vista Theater, It's a small independent movie theater. I only paid $7 to see it, so it's okay. It's okay.
Well, and then for like the plot, like what it's about, the very quickly, it's pretty much about two brothers, and after a heist goes bad, one of the brothers tries to break his other brother from Rikers Island, and the one Robert Pattinson plays the one brother, and the other one, Ben Safdie. I don't know if you knew this, Raul. I didn't know this when I watched it. His brother is the director of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Which to me is insane. Him and his brother directed it. And he plays kind of a guy with disabilities, so he's not all there. So it's a really cool dynamic. But no, I love this movie so much. The cinematography was beautiful. The soundtrack is very much like Drive and like the very 80s neon noir type films. I was blown away by the performances too. Jennifer Jason Leigh was in it as well. She was fantastic. Overall, I thought this movie was great. I give it a 4 out of 5 as well.
Yeah, I saw the movie like 3 months ago. I really liked it also. I will give it an 8 out of 10 also. But for me, Good Time is not a movie that I will see again.
Yeah.
It's a movie that I like, but it's not a movie that I will see again.
I think what's interesting is...
It's not like 2017 Muppy, which you watch 50 times.
I only saw the Tom Cruise movie only once too, Nolan.
I think what was interesting, though, about Good
The
Time
movie that I have seen 50 times is the Brendan Fraser one.
No, yeah.
Gross.
I don't know, I'll just...
Oh, it's a beautiful film.
No, and yeah, Good Time was great. These next two films I saw back to back. I don't know if Nolan, are you a horror fan? Do you like watching scary movies?
I'm a huge horror fan.
Okay, awesome, sweet. So I just watched Creep 1 and 2. Now, if you guys don't know, I mentioned this a couple podcasts back. Creep came out in 2014. It was actually one of my favorite movies that year. It was done by Mark Duplass, and the director's name I gotta find here. Where is it? Patrick Bryce. He was the director, and he's also the actor. This is a movie with the first movie at least had only 3 actors in it. Very small budget. It's a found footage movie, but it's not terrible. It's actually quite genius, and I love the first one. So
that should be on the Blu-ray cover. I found footage. It's not terrible.
Yeah, that's great. But I gave the first Creep 5 out of 5. I love that film. It's one of my favorite horror movies of the last at least 10 years. The sequel just came out, and I remember mentioning it a couple podcasts back. I wanted to review it on our Halloween episode. I just haven't had the time to see it. But holy shit, Creep 2 is also so fucked up. Mark Duplass in the movie, like, I won't go into spoilers, and I don't want to tell really anyone what it's about. Just know that it's a found footage horror movie that's great. There's a scene where in the second movie where Mark Duplass does go full frontal nudity, and probably for like a solid 15 seconds, so you see full-on Wang for like 15 seconds of the movie. It's so uncomfortable. I fucking loved it though. It's so... This franchise is becoming one of the coolest and unique horror franchises that I've seen. So Raul, I don't think you've seen them, so you should totally check them out. And they're only an hour and 20 minutes each. Like, they're super short.
And I haven't seen Creep 1 and 2, and I didn't meet him in person, but I went to a taping of Doug Loves Movies, and Patrick Bryce was a guest, so he was in front of me.
No way!
And
That's
so
awesome.
and also he chose my what do you call it? It's like Janine made like a poster. It's part of the game.
Yeah.
Patrick Bryce chose mine.
That's awesome. Nolan, have you seen Creep or have you seen?
Oh yeah, and also I still hate Doug Benson, even though I saw his show live.
No,
I don't like him at all.
I love Doug Benson. Doug Benson.
Your feud with Doug Benson continues.
Yes. Oh, Nolan knows about Doug Benson.
I know about Doug Benson.
I watch his show all the time. I love Doug Benson. Anyway, yeah. So Nolan, have you seen Creep or have you heard of these movies? This kind of thing.
I heard great things about the first Creep, but I haven't checked it out yet.
Yeah, man, they're great. And, like, what's really cool about them is that they're not, like, the jump scare horror type movies. There's a couple jump scares, obviously, but it's very much like you just don't like watching what you're watching. And it's just so unsettling. And nay, I say it, it's just very creepy. The movies are just really, really creepy. So, yeah.
Wow. Creep is very creepy. That could just be on the DVD cover.
Yeah, and I gave the second one a 4.5, so a 90%. I loved it. I didn't rate it a 5 out of 5 just because I thought the first one was a little bit better, but yeah, watch them. They're great. Only a couple more movies here I saw. The next one, actually, I'm excited because Nolan, I know you're gonna gush out with me about it. But I saw Brigsby Bear, and oh my god, this movie is fucking incredible. So good. Brigsby Bear is I don't even want to tell anyone. I hate the thing with these movies is they're so good. I just don't want anyone to know anything about them when they watch it. But just know that the Brigsby Bear is made by Kyle Mooney, and it's done by Andy Samberg's group, like The Lonely Island. Like it's backed by them, produced by their production company, and it's really about this television show who's produced for this boy who lives in this house by himself. I kind of want to. I don't want to say anything really, but yeah, just it's incredible, so fucking good.
Imagine like the filmmaker's version of Sing Street, and that's Brigsby Bear.
Oh, that is genius. That perfect. That's
Oh.
exactly what it is.
With that, I'm sold.
But it's also kind of
Sing Street does a similar thing
Yeah,
where
yeah,
it's
yeah.
very optimistic, even amongst like a dark time period.
yeah.
And Brigsby Bear did that really well.
But I think what Brigsby Bear did better than Sing Street was it was just kind of more fucked up, and it was like, you know, it was really a dark situation for the main character. Like it was like really really fucked up. But yeah, it was great. Also Andy Samberg is in it, and the dad is played by Mark Hamill. Luke Skywalker's in it, which, I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
Is it canon?
Is it
Brigsby
canon?
Bear for part of the Star Wars universe?
I hope so.
Yes, Kyle Mooney is just short for Kylo Ren.
That's great. No, I loved it. Yeah, the only other two movies I saw, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure Raul's seen them, but I saw Valerian, A City of a Thousand Planets, and I saw Logan Lucky.
Oh, I want to see that one. I want to see Valerian.
Nolan, have you seen Valerian?
I haven't seen it, but everyone's been telling
Okay.
me it's like a really great visual ride, at least.
Okay, so Valerian and A City of a Thousand Planets is based off of a comic series. So I know there's books behind it. I don't know if it was like a novel, but I know for sure there was comics. This movie is absolutely breathtaking. I almost wish I would have seen it in IMAX. Like this is my one movie regret of the year is not seeing this in like IMAX 2D 70 millimeter, because this is the most beautiful, colorful, best cinematography I've seen all year. And it's an independent film. Like the director saved the money up himself and made this movie, got all the effects work done. To me, that's just incredible for a dude to do it. And it's I'll bring up the director here because I'm blanking on the other stuff he's done. But I know I've actually not really been a fan of.
Luc Besson.
Yeah. Fifth Element. That's fucking genius too. So this movie's great. The only thing I don't like is the actors. I don't know why they picked. Dane DeHaan is good, but Cara Delevingne is just. She's very pretty, and I love what she does. She's a great activist for human rights and for everything online, but she just can't act, in my opinion. Her as Enchantress was terrible.
No, sorry. My question is she better than Enchantress?
Oh, way better. Way better. Way better. Like, she should get an Oscar if we're comparing it to Enchantress. Like, this is way better. But still not great.
I feel like I'm alone in this, but like I really like Cara Delevingne in Paper Towns, and I think I'm the only one who does.
I've never seen it. I've never seen Paper Town, so I guess I can't judge it off that, but I'll have to see it.
Well, Raul, you wouldn't like her if you've read the book.
But yeah, I gave.
Talking about the author, The Falling Out Stars is better than Paper Towns.
I will agree with that.
I like the director of Fault in Our Stars.
Josh Boone.
Yeah, he's doing New Mutants. But yeah, no. I hope that's fantastic. I think that's going to be the wild card of next year for sure for superhero films. Like that one could go either way, but I hope it's fantastic. No, Valerian, I gave a 4 out of 5. I thought it was great. It's honestly, if you just watch it for the visuals alone and just for an original sci-fi film, put it this way: the special effects in this were like 900 times better than Batman or Justice League. Like this should get like nominated for Oscars, I think, for the effects and for the cinematography.
No, you know what would be a good twist and a joke? Imagine in the Oscars, Justice League winning an Oscar for best visual effects.
I'm going on record. If that happens, I'm just gonna cancel this podcast and die. Because I just don't want to live with myself anymore if that's the reality we live in.
And also because, Troy, you're saying that because I have predicted the future correctly many times?
Yeah, and that's true.
Can you tell me if I'm going to be a published author soon?
Oh, yeah, you're gonna.
Hey, Raul even got this box office prediction this week right. He was right 100%. He's done it so many times. This man's a majestic prodigy of some sort.
That's because he's buying all the tickets.
That's not true.
But no, yeah, so then to wrap it up...
I'm not like another person on the internet that sees every DC movie or every Marvel movie like 15 times. I'm not that kid.
But to wrap this section up before we go on to rants and recaps, the only other movie I saw this actually last night is I watched Logan Lucky for the first time, and I like this movie a lot. It was very, very fun. The directing is great. I love Soderbergh. He's Magic Mike. I love too. His directing style is very unique and very colorful, if that makes sense. Like it's very poppy. And Daniel Craig is amazing in this. Channing Tatum is my husband, and I want to love him. And he was great in this.
Oh, Channing Tatum, yeah.
Channing Tate, damn. I love that. I'm going to say that from now on. Yeah, it was great. Have you guys seen Logan Lucky?
Yeah, it's on my list, though.
It's really, really good.
I saw it.
Of course. Raul's like, yeah.
Also, Channing Tatum is actually hot.
Oh, my God. Channing Tatum in this movie is so lovable. Like, you just want to give him a hug. He's like a teddy bear. I
always want to give Channing Tatum a hug.
But yeah, no, I gave that 3.5 out of 5. I thought that was a very enjoyable film. I enjoyed it a lot. But yeah, why don't we move into recaps and rants with Raul Rodriguez. Dude, I didn't watch any television this week. Did you?
Yeah. My alternate name for my segment, Raul sees everything and Troy watches nothing.
Watches nothing.
Well, doesn't watch TV. Yeah. So I still going on my saga on finishing Steven Universe. I watched another 30 episodes. I think it was from episode 70 to episode 102. Oh my God, Steven Universe is getting so damn good. Like I said, like the weeks before, the thing I like the Steven Universe the most is how they giving you the answers so slowly. You have to set up this puzzle, this jigsaw of all of the answers, and you have to make up your own timeline and your own story about it. Because it's not giving you the answer like, the answer is this plus this. No, you have to like sample everything. That's the thing that I like from Steven Universe. Like I said it before recording, like I said it to Nolan, Steven Universe is about Earth there was some kind of goddesses called the gems that were ruled by the diamonds. They wanted to conquer Earth, but then the crystal gems, led by Rose Quartz, the mother of Steven Universe, with her rebels, Amethyst, Garnet, and Pearl, they started a war, and then 3,000 years later, Rose Quartz meets a human. They have sex. Of course, they don't show it because it's a kid show. And then Steven Universe was born, but Rose Quartz gave out her physical form. So technically, she died, and her only living thing is her gem living inside of Steven. And so they gave us more answers. Like the thing that I just said about the war, they gave us that answer, but not completely. They told us that a war happened, that Rose was the leader, and they told us, and they just telling about the leaders that are the diamonds, and what happened on Earth. And then season 3 started when Steven he needed to stop I don't remember the name of the event, but it was the Earth was going to scramble in 2 parts. So Steven stopped that, and then season 3 was Steven still training to become a warrior, because in any time the diamonds can come to Earth and to kill him, because they already setting up that the diamonds know that Steven he's a rare child because he's half gem, half human, and so we don't know if the diamonds are gonna kill him because he's weird, or gonna accept him, or they want to adopt him from Earth. And that's the thing that I like from Steven Universe. Like, establishes these questions, and you have to find the answer for it. At the same time, it's a kid show.
Yeah.
And also, we finally, like I said last week, they set it on record that Pearl was in love with Rose Quartz.
Oh.
And that dad knew about it before Steven was born. And Steven, finally, he noticed that Pearl was she wanted to be romantically involved with her mother. That's another thing that they revealed. They revealed how the crystal gems started, how they met, and also Steven almost killed some gems. Well, one of the bad guys. Those last 3 episodes of season 3, like seeing Steven crying, almost killing people. I was like, this is getting dark, and I like it.
This sounds awesome.
And I finished season 3. I'm already on episode 6 of season 4, and I want to know more. I want to finish it, and IMDb gave me like a little spoiler. I'm not gonna say it, but I'm trying to avoid it because I was like, when I knew that spoiler, I was like, I still want to know. I want to get to that episode. I was like, I'm so excited. Like,
wow.
I love Steven Universe so much. Talking about Black Friday, I didn't buy as much. I only bought a Steven Universe shirt because that's how much I'm loving Steven Universe.
Wow.
I bought a t-shirt.
How does it compare to the best animated show of all time, Gravity Falls?
Oh, like I said, like Gravity Falls is a 10, Steven Universe is a 9.
Wow. I'm excited. And since we're kind of on Gravity Falls, quickly I want to plug that we are recording our Gravity Falls series review on Friday with Billy. I'm really excited. This is going to be fun. So we're going to have to do Steven Universe next. That's going to be the next... I think that's what we'll have to decide. The next big series review. I'll watch all the Steven Universe.
Oh, it took you like 4 months to watch Gravity Falls. It's going to take you like 2 years to watch Steven Universe.
How long is it going to take you to watch Doctor Who?
No. Doctor Who is going to take me like a year.
I've only made one rule.
You want me to see all 8,000 episodes of Doctor Who? Or only like the last seasons?
Just Christopher Eccleston onwards?
No.
Who's that guy?
I disagree. I don't understand this. I think... I've never seen Doctor Who, but I will never just start with the guy you just said. If I'm going to ever watch Doctor Who, I have to start from the very beginning. You know how awesome that would be to see the evolution of the very first Doctor going all the way till the new female that they just got, who looks awesome? I'm so excited to one day watch Doctor Who.
Whittaker looks great.
Yeah. I'm so excited to watch it, but that's the thing. I want to watch it from
the very first episode and try to track it down and figure out if I find them, because I know they're hard to come by, and I want to watch all of them. I think that's the only way to do it. That would be awesome. But I heard that like Matt Smith, he's great. There was a guy in Harry Potter. He was a doctor, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, David Tennant.
Yeah. There's a bunch of them that I'm really excited for, but Doctor Who's another show I want to watch.
I know that I'm bad with my British, but I always thought, even though it's not correct, but in my mind I thought that Benedict Cumberbatch was also in Doctor Who, but he hasn't been a doctor yet.
He's not even been near the Doctor Who yet.
I mean, they may have been like different studio, like in the same soundstage at one point, but I'm sure they never were, because he's in Sherlock. That's BBC as well, right? I think.
Yeah. The only BBC show that I have watched is Misfits.
Oh, I don't.
Watch Sherlock.
Sherlock is amazing.
In-Betweeners.
In-Betweeners is so good.
I haven't seen season 2, but I saw season 1 recently, and Dirk Gently is really good.
Oh, Dirk Gently's fantastic. I love Max Landis' writing. Say what people want to say about him online. I like the guy, and I love his dialogue. Some of the stuff he writes is just fantastic.
Oh, I have a theory that Nolan is the unofficial son of Max Landis.
You say this just because I've met the guy a couple times.
Oh,
I have met Max Landis in person also.
Yeah, I went to the Dirk Gently panel in Comic-Con last year. That was cool. But okay, so Steven Universe, that's great.
A really nice guy.
He is, yeah. Raul, you also you saw a couple episodes of The Middle, right?
Yes. I'm still like I said this every episode. Like I'm gonna miss The Middle so much, especially when I saw the episode of Thanksgiving. They remind us of all of the past Thanksgivings of all 9 seasons. Especially like this season, they're all stuck in traffic, and they wanted to get to a Thanksgiving dinner. And at the end, Frankie says, "Oh, fuck it." She puts out her, and she was like sweet potatoes. And she puts it on the motor of the car, and then a lot of people on traffic like, "I have some stuffing. I have some parts of a turkey. I have some that stupid cranberry sauce," and they all make like a Thanksgiving in the middle of traffic, and that was the episode of Thanksgiving. I was like,
that's awesome. That's very
I'm gonna
unique.
miss this show so much.
Have you seen The Middle, Nolan?
I haven't. It always just looked like a reboot of Malcolm in the Middle to me.
No, it's not at all. Malcolm in the Middle was PG-13, almost R-rated compared to The Middle.
So, The Middle is like a safer version of Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, it's like Malcolm in the Middle, a PG Malcolm in the Middle mixed with some of Everybody Loves Raymond, mixed with some things from a lot of 90s shows.
So it's a sitcom, basically.
It's not a sitcom. It doesn't have the laugh track.
Thank God, because I hate laugh tracks in sitcoms.
Yeah.
The worst.
For me, when I started watching The Middle, is because I love the actress that portrays Frankie, because I'm a fan of Everybody Loves Raymond.
Portrays Frankie? Are you telling me it's not ripping off Malcolm in the Middle?
No, I will. Next month I will. So.
Oh my God! Yeah, and so. Yeah, I'm gonna miss this show so much when it finishes. Like, I didn't saw Riverdale this week. I haven't even seen Supernatural. I only saw the first 2 episodes of this season. I have forgotten to watch it. I haven't seen The Flash. I haven't seen nothing of The Flash this new season.
Oh my goodness.
Raul,
you're turning into me.
In a lot of shows. I haven't seen.
You're turning into me, Raul. Stop.
I know. No. Troy, at least I'm not turning into you. You don't watch nothing on TV. At least I'm still watching a new show. I'm watching Steven Universe. I'm watching like 30 episodes per week.
That's fair. You're just not watching. You're at least watching other TV shows.
Like Nolan, for years I have telling him like to watch Supernatural, and he doesn't watch it yet. Also,
I'll watch Supernatural if you watch Doctor Who.
Ooh.
oh, I will watch Doctor Who from the beginning if you watch all 12 seasons of Supernatural so far.
You don't necessarily have to go all the way back to William Hartnell. You can start with Eccleston because it's like a reboot.
Well, okay, I will watch from that reboot until now.
Do it.
How many seasons are they?
There's 10.
Oh, okay, doesn't sound much, especially because they're British shows and they're not that long.
Yeah, and they change the Doctor every so often, so
Which
it
is
does
nice.
freshen it up a bit.
Okay, just to equal the numbers, I will watch from that reboot until now, and then you watch the first 5 seasons of Supernatural.
Okay, deal.
And
And also because you never watched not a whole season of Pretty Little Liars, you came out in the second, third episode.
I couldn't, man. I just couldn't.
And I remember when you said that you didn't like the characters, but you're on stand-up A side, and that's the thing that I like from the show because I love the villain. I love A so much.
Yes, but I shouldn't be rooting for the villain to kill the heroes.
Hey, you know, Nolan, that I love villains.
Yes, but you shouldn't be rooting for the villain. I'm not watching Spider-Man Homecoming thinking, yes, Vulture, kill that little kid.
That was me in the theater. I wanted Michael Keaton to kill the kid.
You guys are
Jesus.
what? Why did you guys want Spider-Man to die?
I love villains so much.
You guys are
Yes.
messed up.
I
I'd want Tom Holland to die. He's a wonderful human.
Yeah, I love Tom Holland.
No, Tobey Maguire will always be my Spider-Man.
Boo!
Same
Boo! Sorry, I'm biased.
I remember that Troy. He's an Andrew Garfield
No!
lover.
Well, Andrew Garfield is
No,
the
no,
hottest
no, 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 no,
Spider-Man.
no, no, no. Andrew Garfield was shit. Tobey Maguire was also shit. They are not Spider-Man. Tom Holland is Spider-Man. He's the best. I will fight you.
Now,
Andrew Garfield's hotter, but
Yeah, he's hot. He's beautiful.
Spider-Man 1 and 2 are
I like
10
them.
times better than Spider-Man Homecoming.
I disagree, but I understand. I love the problem with me is I just when I watched Spider-Man 1 and 2 just recently, to me they're just the Hallmark version of Spider-Man. They don't really to me feel like the Spider-Man I read in the comics. They're good movies. They're good. I don't think they're great adaptations. I think they're good standalone of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, but like Tom Holland and Spider-Man Homecoming was just like me as a kid ripping through a Spider-Man comic, and it was incredible. But I do like the Spider-Man movies. I just don't consider them true Spider-Man movies, if that makes sense.
if you want to hear more about this, you can head on to my YouTube channel, Nolan
Oh,
Dean,
yeah.
There it
Spider-Man
is.
Homecoming essay.
And also your Spider-Man 2 about your Spider-Man 2 essay is my favorite.
Oh yeah, that's my most popular one. It's 22k views now.
Oh wow!
Yep.
Congrats, that's great. But yeah, no, the only other kind of show that was on, I don't know if Raul actually watched. Did you watch Runaways? Raul, did you get a chance?
No,
Okay, so Nolan, I know you've
I
seen
didn't
it.
have a chance.
Do you want to do a quick review, kind of the first couple episodes, I guess, that have come out?
I'll try and keep it short and sweet because this is just what I've got from Runaway. This is the most batshit, weirdest thing Marvel has ever done, and I kind of love that.
And I don't even know what it's about. I haven't even seen a trailer of the Runaways. What is it about?
It's a coming-of-age story where kids' parents are the bad guys. They're like worshipping gods and shit. It's really but it's
Yeah.
really interesting at the same time.
So is it like
So Raul,
is it like Heroes? Because technically the
Kind
heroes
of.
had their parents, they were part of the company, and they were like hunting
I've-
and killing people with powers. So
I've-
it's like Heroes, but they're teenagers?
well,
They're not hunting or killing anybody.
No, yeah.
They're just worshipping gods and shit.
So it's like I've read the comic books. In
Interesting.
the comic books I've read for Runaways, a couple of the first issues or whatever, and yeah, pretty much it like really comes down to it's like a group of super kids versus their parents who are all super villains, and it's really cool. But the villains they worship God. One has like a telepathic connection to a dinosaur, like one of the kids. it's so like it's like someone took an acid trip with Marvel. It's really cool.
It's the
Okay,
most creative thing they've done TV-wise.
Oh, definitely.
okay, you had me at parents with a cult. I also like stories about that. I was like, hey, that sounds dark for me. I was like, I'm interested.
One of the guys from it was, I think he was on Wizards of Waverly Place as Alex's boyfriend in one season.
Yeah.
Greg
and,
Sulkin, I think his name is.
and James Marston plays the guy's dad, who's Angel in Buffy.
Oh, yeah. And Brainiac.
And yes, yeah.
Smallville.
Oh wow.
But yeah, Runaways. I watched
I
the first
recommend-
like 5 minutes of it. I was this morning actually before recording, just to like see if like if what it was about. And yeah, from what I've seen, it's very very creative. The scenes and everything, how it's directed, is very it's really cool. It's very unique as well. Lots of close-ups and stuff. It was really
Oh,
awesome.
Oh my God!
Way
So,
better than Inhumans.
oh, you had me. It's better than Inhuman. Oh my God!
Inhuman sucks.
I still remember when I saw that pilot. That was unwatchable.
The worst season of Doctor Who is better than Inhumans.
Damn. No, like the season 6 and 7 of Pretty Little Liars are the worst seasons ever. I prefer to see those seasons again than watching the Inhumans pilot again.
Ugh, Inhumans sucks.
So before we move on to the final segment of the podcast today, I don't know if this is really a spoiler, but it would be cool. Did you? I know Raul probably didn't watch it, but do you know the character that The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead are gonna share? They announced it on The Walking Dead last night. I just want the reaction from you because I know you hate it now.
Oh my God! I hate that show so much.
But I don't know if this is really a spoiler, but Morgan.
I'm so happy that I'm not watching.
But yeah, no, Morgan is the character that is going to be in the Fear the Walking Dead now and go into Walking Dead. He's the character that's connecting it.
Wait, Morgan Robinson is gonna be on The Walking Dead.
Nope.
I will tune in. I want to see my friend Morgan in The Walking Dead. That will be entertaining.
He'd be one of the zombies.
No.
Oh, I can't be bothered with it today. Go away, zombies. I hope Morgan's not listening to this.
No, not that Morgan. It was actually Morgan Freeman. He's in The Walking Dead now. He plays God.
Oh, wait. Now AMC is gonna afford paying Morgan Freeman to The Walking Dead?
Yeah, the big twist was it's
Wow.
actually a Bruce Almighty spin-off. He plays the same character as God. It's the same one.
Huh. That explains.
Going to be played by Jim Carrey now.
I hope so.
So that explains Rick's fear. Talking about Bruce Almighty and the sequel Ivan Almighty, that explains Rick's fear because he's gonna be the next like Moses in the Walking Dead universe.
Oh my God.
We already connected Bruce and Ivan Almighty
You know how
to the
weird
Walking
this
Dead
is?
universe.
That is so weird. Who would ever think of putting Bruce Almighty and The Walking Dead together? Fucking love this podcast. No, why don't we? Let's move on to the last segment.
Before we move,
Yeah.
we need to do this because then next week we're gonna have my review of one of my most anticipated movies of all time.
Yes.
But we need to hear Nolan's review of The Room because he just watched it a few days ago.
Oh yes, yeah. I forgot.
Nolan,
Yeah.
what do you think about about Tommy Wiseau's masterpiece, The Room?
The Room was an experience. It is like it's like watching a really passionate artist that doesn't know how to hold a paintbrush.
Yeah, that's exactly.
It's so alluring and it's so bad, but it's so alluring at the same time, and it's different than other bad movies. I unironically like this movie in a weird, unique way,
Yeah.
and I cannot wait to see The Disaster Artist.
Oh man.
No, for me, The Room, it changed me. It's a movie that I love so much. Of course, like I said, like it's a movie that of course has a lot of mistakes, like the dubbing, like the camera work, like the script,
That's
everything.
just the
But it's
character
a
of the
movie
film.
that you can admire.
Yeah.
That is so funny. I love the story behind it. I have met Tommy Wiseau already like 2 times already. He's an enigma. Tommy Wiseau is the best. And I already saw The Room 2 times in the theater and throwing spoons. And like seeing in a theater is an experience.
Yeah.
Now, and I'm so excited for The Disasters. I'm gonna see it on Thursday. I'm so fucking excited. The Disaster Artist.
I love that this is the first Oscar movie that feels like an event.
Yes.
Nolan, I'm curious. Nolan, I have a theory about The Disaster Artist. Now that you've seen The Room, I want to hear what your thoughts on this is. So I have a prediction that the big twist of the year is that Disaster Artist, they're gonna come out for their Oscar push, and they're gonna say, no, just kidding, Tommy Wiseau actually directed this movie, and they're gonna try to push to get him a Oscar nomination for it. Like, say the actual, because he was on set. This could be the ultimate redemption for him. Now, oh my god. That it would be amazing. I want them to do it. Even if he didn't direct the movie, James Franco should just say he did and try to get him a nomination for Best Director.
I don't know. Tommy Wiseau is gonna be there on the Oscars, and I even asked him in the Best Friends interview. I just imagine Tommy Wiseau reacting in the red carpet. I imagine like someone on me. What are you wearing, Tommy? I'm wearing Tommy Wiseau clothing. Oh my god! Oh, the red carpet.
I want Tommy Wiseau to host the Oscars.
Oh my god!
No, Tommy Wiseau showing his underwear clothing line in the red carpet. I want to see the Fashion Police episode right now.
Oh my god!
Like,
he has
oh my god, that was the best.
He has one of those jackets. He opens it up. It's just all of his underwear, like in the different pockets. He's like, okay, what kind do you want? We have large. We have medium. Here's a black pair.
Yes.
But yeah, okay, so
the medium underpants mark.
Let's quickly run into the box office of this week. As always, Raul, you knocked it out of the park. The top 5 of this weekend were Coco at 49 million, Justice League at 40 million, Wonder at 22 million, Thor Ragnarok at 16 million, and Daddy's Home 2 at 13 million. Raul, you predicted that. We only predicted what Coco was going to make. We didn't bother with the top 5 this week. But you predicted 50, I predicted 39, and Billy predicted 50. So you and Billy were 100%. Like, it made 49 million. That's great. You guys are Messiah.
Of course.
So, and that's the only other thing I wanted to mention, which is cool about the box office this week. Overall now, worldwide, Justice League has made 481,346,643. So if its budget really was around 400 million, it should be balanced out now, right? I don't think they made any profits from the movie, but they should have made what they've spent back for the production budget at least. So that helps.
They're going to focus on standalones for Warner Brothers now, I think.
Oh, yeah, Troy, but also you need to count, like, you need to know that Warner Brothers doesn't keep the whole money. I think also, like,
that's true.
Talking about international, I think they only keep, like, 30 or 40% of the international
that's a good point. Yeah.
winnings of the box office.
Yeah, I'm curious, man. But I think Nolan hit it on the head, and that's what I mentioned in our Justice League review. I really think what the Justice League does is it says that DC is going to be taking the Logan Fox route in they're giving these directors their characters and saying, okay, go fuck off and do whatever movie you want to make. Just make it artistic and make it your own. And that's why I'm really excited for Aquaman. I think James Wan in Aquaman is just going to be, like, unreal.
Can you imagine what Black Manta would look like in a James Wan movie?
I know, oh my god. Fuck, man. That movie's gonna be fantastic.
No, I'm so glad when I saw Justice League, the thing that I worry me about the Aquaman when they talking on the bubble, and then James Wan put out an article that in his movie there's not gonna be bubbles. I was like, okay, James Wan, now I'm not worried because those bubble things, like that movie's gonna suck with those bubbles.
Yeah, I'm excited for Aquaman.
And
Same
also,
with Batgirl.
Nolan, before we move, what was your favorite scene of the room?
Oh yeah.
Favorite scene of the room. Can I have 1,000 red roses, please?
Hi, doggy.
Yes, the flowers. My favorite scene, I don't know if I've said this, but my favorite scene is when Mark and Lisa are having sex in the stairs.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite
because
scenes.
I love that song.
Here is
Like,
my
you are my rose, you
yeah.
are my rose, you are my rose.
My second favorite scene is the long shot of Tommy Wiseau's ass.
Oh my god. I love the humping
No,
scene.
like number one, staircase sex. Then is I did not hit her. It's not true.
I
It's
did not.
bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not.
Oh, hi,
Oh,
Mark.
hi, Mark. Number three is the chip. Number four is the flower shop scene. And number five, you're not my fucking mother.
Oh my god, Mark.
Oh shit. Yeah, and so here's the thing for next week, and I don't know if this is like the worst week of the year for movies because absolutely nothing is coming out. Where at least in my town, there's Wonder Wheel, The Tribes of Palos Verdes, and Gold. I've not heard of any of these movies. One
Those
has.
sound like chocolate bars.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
For me, Troy, for me in LA is the Disaster Artist and The Shape of Water
Oh
this
my
weekend.
god. I hate you. That's next week for me. Next week I get next Thursday is when I'm seeing Disaster Artist. Not this Thursday. Rude. But yeah, no, there's no movies coming out next week here, so we're gonna have the large portion of the episode is gonna be a Q&A. So please, if you're listening to this, we're gonna make sure we comment throughout the week. But please ask us questions, even if it's personal questions. It could be what our favorite ice cream is. What our it doesn't matter what it is. Just please ask us questions for next week. But Nolan, thank you so much for joining us. This is your moment to shine. Feel free to plug anything you need to, talk about a segment you want to bring up. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Matt. And if you guys want to see more of me, just follow me at Nolan Dean 27 and help me hit 1,000 subscribers
Please.
on my YouTube channel. It's also Nolan Dean.
And-
This week I'm putting out a new video essay about Peter Pan, because I love that book so much, and I've got some things to say about the movies that has come from it.
Mhm.
And also, if you want to hear me talk about Moonflower, just follow me on Twitter. I'm usually posting about it near enough every day now. I think people are sick of it now.
And also, people check out his essays.
Yes.
The Spider-Man
They're
ones
so
are really
good.
good. And also, he showed that he stopped doing movies and me. My episode is really good. Morgan's episode is great.
Hey, I want to
Colin
go on.
Andrews' episode about Spider-Man.
I don't know where the future is with movies and me. I might do it as like a special thing, but it's becoming harder to schedule guests with me going to college and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Nolan, if it comes back, I want on.
Yo,
If you bring it back, let's do it.
you got it, buddy.
But yeah, no, and like I said, please go subscribe to his YouTube, his essays, everything, even the writing. That's why I'm really excited, because I'm gonna probably scam you into showing me some of your writing for, just in general, because your essays are just so written beautifully. So I'm really excited, and everyone should check it out for sure. Raul.
I will send you the first chapter of Moonflower right after this if you want.
Oh yeah, please. That would be great.
Also, Nolan is guilty now. Nolan is guilty because he got into learning about lessons from the screenplay, and that's the thing that I really like. I really like that YouTube channel, so I know more like how to write.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now, I can develop more stories in my head, but still, like, I'm having a hard time like to write it down.
Dude, I've been doing this for 5 years and I'm still finding it hard.
Like Nolan, we met in a impromptu movie fight, and from then, I know about his stories. I know about his working since I know Superman to the playground, the story, even his horror show that he had also planned, the Midnight Mets, and also right now with Moonflower. I have seen the journey of Nolan, like getting as a writer. I will be so glad if he gets like a J.K. Rowling status. I was like, I met that guy. I have met him, and I'm already planning. I'm already producing his movie.
Eventually, Raul will direct a biopic known as The Disaster Artist Part 2.
No, it will be Norgan. Call me by your name too.
Keep shipping me and Morgan together. I don't know why. Is it because we're both British?
No, I don't know why. I see a chemistry between you two. I see something. Also, I said it with Troy. Like when we get our podcast into iTunes, if a Russian girl or Russian boy or like any kind of part of the world, if someone ship us, that's when I know that the podcast is successful. I don't care if he has like 30 subscribers. When someone is shipping me, that's when I know that. Now our ship is called Roy.
Yeah, Roy.
Raul and Troy. Roy.
And that's oh, what was I gonna say? What were you yeah, iTunes. So
Twitter is RDC.
Yeah, and for everyone listening, I am pretty much I was this morning, and I'll have it done for tomorrow. Everything's gonna be on iTunes, on SoundCloud. We're gonna be spreading the Monday show onto different platforms, so look out for that. You can find me on Twitter at Troy Loxton. Check out on this channel. You can see the trailer for Father. It was the independent film that I had made this year and premiered on November 1st. And that was fun, so please check that out. Nolan, thank you so much again.
And also check out the Top channel. Have a great day.
Everyone have a great day.